Alright, welcome back to the road to chess. The road to better chess, where the points don't matter. Alright, our opponent played e4, we went c5, we're going into a Sicilian. Knight f3 looks like an open Sicilian so far. We play knight c6. Let's see what they have in store for us. Oh no, it's the Rossolimo. Okay, so there's a few ways to play the Rossolimo. I think the main one which we're going to go for is g6. We're going to get our dark square bishop out on the long diagonal, and then we'll see if we can actually make our opponent take our knight without provocation, which would be ideal. If they don't though, we'll continue the game anyway. Oh, perfect, exactly what we want. And now we have two choices. We can take with the d pawn or with the b pawn, and the structure I'm enjoying is playing with the d pawn. And it looks a little bit strange because normally you take towards the center, but this opens up our light square bishop, and it gives us really good control on the queen side. If we eventually get the pawn attacked, we can play b6 as well and protect it. So let's just continue here. Now I believe the move we want to play is e5. We really just get a clamp on that that square over there. I do think there's a place where you play knight f6 is actually the main move, and then you play the knight over if they push. You can actually just play straight here as well. We can attack the pawn again and again. But I quite like the e5 setup. So we're going to play our knight out, we're going to play our bishop out, we can castle, and in the main line Rossolimo, if you are looking at the main opening, then you normally end up playing a kind of aggressive setup. So I think the point is we want to be able to get our knight in here, ideally. It's going to be a little bit tricky for us to do. We have to play around in a few ways. From this side you can go here. So we could still, let's just continue with our plan now. So I was going to say, in the mainline Rossolimo theory, you actually end up playing very aggressively. You end up like launching a kingside attack, actually, I think. We're already deviating a tiny bit, maybe. And I'm just going to go ahead and protect that pawn with my queen. Now my bishop and my queen are taking care of it. The light square bishop can also come out here or here, and we're going to castle. If their bishop comes out to attack our c-pawn, we can play easy b6, and then we have this kind of pawn structure, which is really just locking down on the d-pawn. Oh, interesting, okay. So there isn't really much of a threat here. Even if you take and I take back, I'm still protecting my pawn, so it doesn't really matter. We're also not really against this, because at some point this might be part of our breaks, actually, if we really want to like launch. Maybe in the meantime, maybe we just castle. Everything's still protected. As said, the queen isn't overworked, because whichever way it takes, it'll also be defending here. So that should be fine. We're just gonna castle. We could push this dark square bishop out with the h-pawn or the f-pawn. Which one do we want to do? The f-pawn, I think, is not really our main plan, because we'd end up going up here. Oh, okay, looks like they want to actually trade off the dark square bishops. Maybe we'll just ask them if they want to have doubled f-pawns, so we can actually put our light square bishop out here. There is a plan where we do this, and then we threaten to take because the pawn is pinned to the queen. Maybe I do this, and then I can just take and mess up their pawns a little bit this way. What's best? Do I want to give up my light square bishop for this knight or this knight? Is kind of what I'm thinking about. I kind of like giving up for the f knight because it'll mess up their pawns a bit. If I do this, it does mess up their pawns, but we have an identical pawn structure then, so don't know how good that is for me as such. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for the f3 knight. As said, this whole situation is still perfectly fine. We could also kick this knight. We could kick it and break, but I think before that, let's bring a rook over to the d file. And there's no worries here. Nothing's getting auto-attacked or anything. Yeah, this is what we were expecting. So, we can mess up their pawn structure. I'm not going to take, there's no real reason to misplace their queen here. I'm happy to put my king up, taking back instead, but it does mean that this pawn's going to get weak, so I think it's time to take one of these knights out. Is there any other way I want to do this? Not really. Not really. Alright, yeah, let's just do this. So now one of the attackers of the e-pawn is gone. We can, in between actually, we can take the g-pawn as well. Because if they take, we take. They can take, we take. And we're just up a pawn there. Let's make sure I didn't mess this up. I don't think so though. Oh, this is double attacking our e-pawn though, so I gotta be careful. Yeah, if I take here, they can take here, for instance, in between move. And I'm not getting the piece back, so let's just take. Alright, so you take back and you have double pawns. And now my thinking is that I either need to break here, or I need to push your knight out of the way. And then I can bring a rook over. I'd love to get a knight out on these squares, but it's going to be a little bit tricky to do that. What if they push immediately? Then we take... They can't take back because we're still defending it with our queen. And then I think we might actually play the f. Although then we open up this diagonal to our king as well. We can do this. It's very slow, but it can make its way there. We could do this and play it over this. Oh, actually this might be pretty good, to be honest. But if they push, no, if they push, I guess I still take, and then I play up and I do this. Yeah, the middle is a little bit weak, but the general setup feels pretty good. Otherwise I just push now, take. They're gonna double attack my pawn, I can defend it. They can bring their queen in. That's a little bit dodgy here. Yeah, I think I need to take care of this queen here. So f pawn or h pawn. So it's here or it's here, I think is what I'm going to do now. I do have this move, but I don't love it, because I'm actually going to give them that square with their knight eventually. Otherwise I just immediately break. Queen comes in, I get out of the way, they have to get out of the way to, oh no, hang on, they have this square here, and then they get out of the way, then I have to cover with my knight. Yeah, making the best use of this knight is the trick. What if I push, and after they take, I take back with the knight immediately? That gets the knight into the d square, d4 square if I want it. It does isolate my e-pawn, but they've also got some pretty terrible pawn situations here. I can protect it again, they can attack it again. Yeah, not loving this, unfortunately. Otherwise I just start off here. I feel like I have to. Here I can block it with the knight, and I can push away a little bit. Take here. Otherwise maybe just the rook over first, and then I can do this story. They can't take with the... Okay, I mean, actually maybe I'm just going to do this first. If the queen comes in, double attacking here, I do have a way to defend the pawn still, no problem. It would make sense for them to try and get a rook over on this file now. And actually I think I might have to then actually also get a rook over. Yeah, yes, I mean I saw this coming, but I can defend this pawn and push the queen away without much troubles here. So pawn's defended, queen has to move. Queen can go somewhere back. Can't go in. These are your only real moves here. Unless you want to give up a piece, I'm happy to take that. Oh, now if I kick the knight, there's no... Oh, now you're hitting my pawn, eh? Maybe I just defend... Pawn here. Kick the knight and push immediately. Yeah, there's nothing there, unfortunately, so it doesn't really help me as such. Yeah, this pawn break kind of tricky. Otherwise, I have to just do the slow way. Okay, I've got this, but then they do here, and I don't think there's a good in-between there, really. I just mess up their pawn structures and hope it's better, so I think I'm just going to protect my pawn the way I intended when I took with the d-pawn. There's a lot of coverage on this side of the board for us. And so I think we're supposed to be launching a kingside attack, but I'm not exactly sure how. Although now actually we have f on the board, so we could get g on the board. Actually, hang on, this is good for us. So we can get g on the board now, and then we've got a lock on that f square. We can get our knight into the f4 square, which should be really good for us. We can sink our queen over very, very quickly if they're not careful. And if they push, we can take and we can still defend. And then actually we have a different knight jump. We can jump our knight to the e5 square. Still kind of dangerous. Yeah, so I think white is maybe going to struggle to figure out a plan for themselves here. Maybe king over to try and get something here. I definitely think this is our next move. And you see how we took with the d pawn and it gave us the control over this side. Also gives us the d file to play with, which is real nice. Although it doesn't look like we're going to be doing... Ah, here they come. Doesn't look like we're going to be doing too much with it this time. Okay, important now. Yeah, I think we're going for it. If they play h, we play h as well. We retake and we keep the g file closed. H also kind of messes up our queen's entry though, because... Oh no, it doesn't. We actually have it. That's good. Yeah, okay, so this is our next plan. Whoop, whoop. If they play the h-pawn over, we play the h-pawn over. Actually, if they play the h-pawn over, we could play over here first. Does it help us though? Not really. Never mind. We're just going to play h6 as well. Take. Very happy to have the h-pawn, the h-file open up in front of the king. Yeah. Oh, I see now. And the problem is that if they play here, I still have this kind of entry plan. Okay, no, I'm okay. I'm okay with that. So if they play over, I can't jump my knight in, but we can come here threatening this to win the pawn and also threatening this to win the pawn. And their queen can't defend it unless they play the f up. Are they going to sack in front of our king? So this was my plan here, and after they take, they can sack a rook, but it's going to be real tough. I think this is still good for us, and we can also win this pawn now if we have to. But the important thing is actually just covering the f5, f4 square, because if they don't have that pawn break, they've kind of got nothing, I think. Great outpost. Their knight can't immediately cover us. Here we go, still covering. Nice coming over. We've got a nice check now on the h-file. Ooh, and with here we're covering the king's escape actually, so this would be mate. Oh goodness, what a situation. Dangerous. Yeah, this f4 square might be the reason we end up winning if we do. All right, we have a check now as well. But I think we have to jump the knight in first to cover that g2 square. Stops the f-pawn from moving. It means the queen can't come in at all. Okay, in this case, maybe we have to check first, and then take, and then jump. And then we can check again, and the king has to like make some really uncomfortable moves, okay? Because if we jump up now, they're going to move over, protecting. Yeah, this isn't mate anymore, is it? Here they move, we move. If they take, we take back. The king has that square to get away from us. Did we jump off? Oh man, they're so... Maybe everything wins right now, to be honest. I think jumping first might be best. Nothing is going anywhere here. Queen can't get there, knight can't get there. We've got the h-file. If they take back, the king has to run sideways, and we're in really, really good shape. This queen is still covering here as well. This knight is protected by two pawns, so they can't like take. You know, it's not like the pin pawn makes a difference. They take here, I'm going to take back with my queen. Yeah, this is really good. If they double up, actually, they might be mated, because here, then take. Okay, yeah, they're over. Now we go over as well. Not quite mate, but I mean, it's basically getting towards it. This is very dangerous for them. Take. Now we take. Check. Now they have to run here. We're going to win this if they're not careful. Actually, we're going to mate them. Oh, man, this is amazing. Check here. So this is the threat, right? But once they move over, this is mate. Because the knight's covering these squares. Not being able to move the f-pawns is really dangerous for them. So we're threatening to come in. The rook can't help, the queen can't help, the knight can't help. The pawns can't help. The only pawn that has a break that's worthwhile is the d pawn, and it's irrelevant. Wow. I think this game went very well for us. We'll just have to see where exactly our opponent went wrong. And I want to look at that knight f6 jump, because I know that's the main line, I think. There we go. But unfortunately, I didn't know how to do it, so yeah. Alright, let's just go back to the top quickly. Let's have a look at what happened here. So it's a Sicilian, open Sicilian. No, they're going for the Rossolimo, and we play, I think, mainline G6, castle, bishop up. Oh yeah, okay. So I think taking the knight is theory. It's not like it's a mistake, but I'm very happy to see it because it gives me the chance to take with the d pawn, which opens up our light square bishop, which we're not sure how we're going to play with just yet. It might go here, it might go here. And it also allows us to keep really good control of the queen side. And once we play the b pawn up, we've got a structure that is very hard to break. We've got double c pawns, so we can take either one of these and still push if we have to. Alright, so d3, I think this is all standard theory here. I think the main move is actually knight f6, but then I forget what we do after this. There's always a like jump like this, but then they protect it again, then I attack it again, then they protect it again. And a little bit unsure what I'm supposed to do here. Am I supposed to jump this way? Yeah, okay, we'll look at that in a second. We just played e5 straight, which is a move. We're locking down on that d4 square completely. Really nice. Okay, they play the other knight over here. So I guess they were always looking at the c4 square. We play out, they play out. We protect that. And this move, I think, is kind of without big purpose. Normally, I think they put it on e3, hitting our pawn, and then that forces us to kind of show the structure we want to play with our queenside pawns. Still, as said, we've got enough pawns here to keep each other safe, and we're helping to cover the d4 square, which is important because it's one of the ways white can break in this open. We castle, yeah, we didn't have to do anything here. We could, but absolutely didn't have to. Knowing they wanted to trade off, maybe it would have been good to kind of force something immediately, but whatever. Anyway, so now, yeah, we had the option of these two. We did decide to rather try and take the knight in front of the king. They could have moved it. They could have jumped it somewhere, you know. Then maybe we could have done something like this. We hit the bishop, and after the bishop goes here, then we hit the knight, and then they take, then we take, and the knight has to come somewhere we can take it. So probably they go here, we take, and then they've got this pawn here. I don't know if that's actually very good for us. But yeah, they decided not to do it, and we said thank you very much. And here I thought we had a good move with this in-between, but they could do an in-between that hits our queen, so that's not good. So just take, and they take and double pawns. And now very much we want to get our knights into these squares. D4 better for total game. F4 absolutely amazing for like the kingside crunch, which we did end up doing. Rook over, yeah, I couldn't decide how I wanted to do this. I was actually really scared about f4, which I think they had to play. Probably here they're still kind of okay. And then after the queen move, I think they're doing worse. Because now they can't play f4 fast enough. I can kick. Oh, okay. Here, maybe this was their last chance to play f4. Here. No, but they did this and this was too slow. Now we've got control. Here I did think they could make this move, but then we can still threaten to come in. And if they move the king up, we can still threaten the pawn from the back. And they're not in time to defend it, unless they were smart enough to defend this way, because then they could put a rook over. Then we would have had to reconsider our plans again. Although I don't think if I would have minded maybe pushing, take with my queen. I don't know, we can look at it. Alright, here I'm very happy with all of this. We did have both of these, but white's kind of opened up the H file to their detriment, right? Our king is not on that file. Our king has pawns and a piece in front of it. Their minor piece is way on the other side of the board. So white's thinking that they can attack us on the king side was just, I think, a bit ill-advised. They didn't consider the fact that they would be the one under the most pressure. Taking as well, not sure it was necessary. I think maybe bringing the other rook over. Although not really, you'd get mated there as well, huh? Yeah, maybe you had to take and start running, but after this there's just no way. If you go here, I mate you. If you don't, I come in and mate you as well. I can mate you on either of those squares. Alright, let's have a look. Run the engine quickly. Let's look at theory first, shall we? So this is the Rossolimo G6 main move. castle, bishop g, rook e1, or taking. So taking is a move. c3, rook e1 or main. I don't know if you have to take the knight, to be honest. It's not like it's a nimzo, you're not pinning the knight, right? So it's gonna jump, but is it really that worthwhile to take it? Anyway, they did take it, and we took back with the d pawn, slightly more mainline, d3, knight f6. So this is, hang on, let's just do knight f6 here. What am I doing in this position? All jumps are equal. Is this the jump I'm doing mainly? Oh my goodness. Okay, you're double attacking the pawn. Okay, what if I go here? They defend it with their rook, for instance. Oh, I'm just going to come around. I'm not going to try win the pawn. If I try to win it, yeah, okay, that's actually just super bad. Alright, so this is fine, but then I don't like that. I like e5, and e5 is the second most played move here, although it scores very well for white at the top level. e5, yeah, bishop e3 is what I expected at some point. They didn't play it. Knight bd2, queen e7, knight over knight d7, knight c4, queen c7, bishop e3. Now, yeah, so this didn't feel like a real threat, to be honest. I'm just going to see if there's any other master level games here. Not really. Okay, so let's go over to the Leech's top 2000 and up classical rapid. So let's see, bishop g5. Yeah, some people have played it, I guess. f6 or just castle. I just castled. Queen d2, h3. h3, I guess, is so you can do this eventually, and also stops me. Bishop h4 seems totally unnecessary. I don't know who played it there then. Alright, so queen over b5. Bishop e7. Okay, we played the bishop up here. Yeah, so b5. I mean, I know it's a move, but let's just see what happened in that game. Bishop e5, knight d4, h6. Bishop back, f5, breaking. Bishop takes. Yeah, because I'm gonna get you stuck over there. Here takes. Oh, now because the queen can't come in, right? That's important. Rook f, rook d, queen e2, breaking e4, take, knight has to jump back, and all the other squares are covered. Hitting the other rook. Wow, and not saving it. Tell me why. If you save it, then I'm pinning your knight. Protect. I'm actually not doing that much better. Oh, okay. Interesting position though. We didn't do any of that, so we played up, and now there's no more games. Okay, fair enough. Let's just look here. Ah, yes, that is lovely. That is what we want to see. White always starts with a slight advantage, and then slowly but surely we just took the game. Although it looks like we missed a chance. Let's just have a look here. Alright, nothing, no big mistakes. Happy, happy, happy. Here. Oh, okay, I did see queen over directly, but I didn't really understand. Like, they take, and I jump in, and they move. I don't really know what my plan was, to be honest. Why am I pushing this knight away? I'm threatening here and your queen's gonna get stuck. So what if you try and... Oh, because there's no way you can... Yeah, there's no way you can check me. Can't check me here. Can't come in. Can't come in. Can't come in. Ah, okay, this is what I missed. So in this case, I just win your queen. Oh, I would have taken in a heartbeat for sure. Oh yeah, threatening mate over here. Oh wow. Yeah, very crushing. Okay, okay. So I didn't realize that line works. I thought that it was kind of, a bit unclear for me, but I didn't properly calculate that they wouldn't have anything after their queen takes a g-pawn. They actually have nothing, and they're in serious trouble. So we gave our chance away. Okay, and this is also, I thought, maybe a good one for them. I was gonna go over here, and then if they protect it... What am I doing? Oh, that's very slow. Okay, eventually we're gonna break f5 as an idea. Okay, but yeah, so they didn't do that, and now I'm just great. Oh yeah, oh, just so good. Yeah, queen takes knight. That's the kind of situation we're in. Mate in 20, best move onto the knight moves, right? 10. Alright, very good. I'm actually going to quickly pop over to my Sicilian, uh, let's look at, where's the Rossolimo? Here it is. Let's just see. So this is the main line that I like. Ah, this is the one with e6, with e5, directly. Okay. Yeah, this is, and then like if they take the knight, then you can like win. Okay, so I've played this once, or I tried to play this once in uh, some stuff here. I mean, this is just like slightly better, but yeah, I don't know. I played the G6 line instead. Could be like a kid. Yeah. Ah, yeah, see, so this is the point here. You can run the knight all the way around. Okay. Yeah, but I'm actually playing kind of like not the main line at all. I'm playing e5 directly in my game, so just insert that. I play e5. Yep, that's there. They also just took and then played d3. I think this was also what they played. And again, I like e5. Yeah, okay. Nice. Alright, good game. So glad to get in the books. Um, what would our lesson be in this game? I mean, it kind of went according to what we wanted. So maybe less about what we did and more about what our opponent did. I would say careful about playing moves that have only one threat. I would say don't open up lines to your king. You know, very careful. Opening up the H file there was basically losing, I think. So that was a bit of a dangerous one. Yeah. And maybe playing a little bit over eager and aggressive. They didn't have to take on knight, although that's theory. They didn't have to play bishop g5. There were better moves. They seemed very intent of kind of making an attack, but I think it was maybe a bit overzealous. Alright, so yeah, glad to get the win. I'm glad to play a structure that worked out very well. And I think we just kind of controlled the game until the end, which is fantastic. We want to be in a controllable game where we just guide it into the kind of ending we want to see. Alright, so see you guys again next time, and keep on improving. Ciao.